Good morning, and welcome back to your weekend unboxing here on Gaming with ADHD. Today we are going to take a look at Last Aurora, a post-apocalyptic game for 1 to 4 players set in a frozen, desolate wasteland. Now, this is a game that I don't have a whole lot of knowledge about. It was kickstarted a few years ago and was released originally back in 2020. But this is the first time that I'm seeing it. We were at the local game shop, and this time I insisted to my wife that I was going to be the one to pick out a game this time, and this is what I settled on. After we were both looking at it, we hadn't looked at any reviews or anything. We just kind of looked at it and we're like, this is Mad Max on ice. So it was kind of funny. I was doing a little bit of research, didn't do a ton. And I'm not the only one who said so. But regardless, let's take a look and see what we get inside. All right, so as you can see, we have our box. Looks like Mad Max's Interceptor here on the cover. Some other large vehicles, clearly in some form of a race. A little bit of background on the back and a layout of all of our pieces. Now, Pendragon Games is a studio out of Italy, and at least for the US market, they partnered with Ares Games in order to publish this. All right, so first up, we have the instruction book. So it looks like 24 pages. Nice little appendix and rules reference here on the back. And our rules breakdown inside. List of all the components. Description of the game rounds. So, looks pretty standard. Option for the beta map, so I'm assuming that's a second map. Yes, that is clearly different than the one at the beginning of the book, so that's cool. 2 maps. I'm going to assume this one makes it a little more difficult. And then solo mode. So slightly different rules if you want to play solo. But there we go. All right, pretty standard as far as the rulebook goes. We have a reference card. The action zone, object and loot cards, deck zone, discard zone. So I'm going to guess this goes somewhere near the center of the table during setup. It is not double-sided outside of some art. We've got a bunch of tokens, so radiation markers. I'm going to guess those are tokens for the particular factions. I'm going to guess damage markers. Looks like most are the same on the front and the back. Alright, we've got our board. Alright, so if you are familiar with any of my videos, you will know that I have a comically small recording area. So not the greatest for seeing everything all at once on some of these boards, but it's fine. All right, so this is our beta map. It will not work as well for the alpha map, but here's this. Overall, I mean, it's a decent print style. Obviously, it's dealing with a frozen area, so lots of whites and blues. Could do with a little bit of extra color in there. but obviously, you know, it would kind of break the theme a little bit. Different tracks down here on the bottom. So overall, not bad. As I'm knocking everything over. Super professional over here. All right, we've got different player boards. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right, active, rest, exhausted, convoy, so different zones. They are single-sided. I am not sure what everything does, but that's fine. You get 4 of those. Got wooden cubes, orange, white, and gray. I'm guessing different resources you need. I'm going to guess these are point trackers for the different factions. More tokens and a ship. Let's take that one out. Alright, so we have a ship. I did look at the Kickstarter page for this. They did do plastic components for all of these. I do not know if they are still available. It's been a couple years since the Kickstarter was delivered, so maybe not. Let's see, and oh, that's nice. We've got little survivor meeples armed with a rifle of some sort in his hand. These are all made out of wood, so pretty standard. I've also got a nice organizing tray. I know there's some expansions, and so they've clearly designed this to take that content in. So that's actually good. There's also a new expansion coming later this year, so all right. Oh, interesting. So you actually have to build your truck. Containers, rusty containers. Different food and equipment. I'm guessing reference cards. No, it's got to be like damage cards or something, because they are all different. Werewolves, so I'm guessing encounters. Rider wolves. The final howl. Rendell and Randall. Ulmar the metal wolf. And the immortal wolf, so probably scenario based. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Bombus turbo truck or biomass turbo truck. Armored baggage rack, Gauss cannon. So these are more upgrades for the truck. Mines. So a lot of cards for this. I'm guessing different locations you can go to try and find equipment and supplies. people you can find. So basic premise of the game is you are trying to gather, or the frozen north is about to be completely frozen over, and everybody's gonna die in the winter, and so there's a ship coming through to do one last pickup after this nuclear winter or whatever caused this. And so they are you are trying to gather as many survivors as possible, and you will score points for them, and then you win the game by having the most points. So yeah, very much a Mad Max look, but this time in the snow instead of the desert. Different leaders. The other two co-pilots. All right, so I am very curious. I think this is going to be interesting and fun to play. And I am trying to be better about getting reviews done. I have a few put together, so hopefully we can get a review up of this one soon. But regardless, this is an interesting acquisition. Not a lot going on here, but I think it keeps it pretty simple, and I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but I'm very curious to try this one out. So that is Last Aurora from Pendragon Games, and we'll be back with a review later on. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do make sure to subscribe to the channel. I do try to get a few different game-related videos up each week covering all sorts of tabletop subjects. But regardless, I do appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.